Welcome back to the program. Seated with us is Dr. Agbo Emmanuel, the Deputy National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So
This
release of $1 billion by the National Executive Council for the fight against Boko Haram insurgency, I know your party has made its position very clear. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, my thought is essentially exactly the same like most Nigerians. I want us to pause a little and look or take very meticulous steps following statements that have emanated in recent times from the spokesman of the federal government. Only recently, Lai Mohammed, in his usual very deceptive ways, told Nigerians that not one single bomb had exploded in Nigeria since the assumption of office by Boko Haram. This is the same person who coined the word, technically defeated. And they claimed, the federal government claimed, that whatever hitherto had been the areas under the jurisdiction, in quote, of Boko Haram had been claimed by the federal government. And they have, for all of these last 2 years, tried to sell the dummy to Nigerians that, yes, they have performed, they have had victory, they've, what the previous government couldn't have done in their own perception, they have done, unfortunately, with ammunitions and arms that have been provided for by the very previous government that they refused to acknowledge. And for them to now come at the twilight of an election and to begin to think that, yes, they are going to take a whopping sum of $1 billion US. Please, let's be rational about this. 370 billion Nigerian naira is what we are talking about. To fight a war they themselves in the past have acknowledged to have defeated, calls for more questions, because the truth must be said. We are beginning to place our priorities differently. Today, every medical doctor knows that, yes, for you to effectively give any treatment, you must go down to the symptoms. Our educational system is absolutely and totally collapsed. And I think it is in the interest of Nigeria that the educational system is put. How I wish that at least...
Dr. Emmanuel, let me just stop you there, because truly there's an irony here, that from the position of your party and from your position, you are essentially saying that $1 billion for the fight against Boko Haram insurgency is absolutely wrong and uncalled for. Now,
right, yes, absolutely wrong.
Right. Now, it was just yesterday that a PDP administration used $2.1 billion for this same fight. Is that not ironic to you?
No, it's not ironic, and I'll tell you why. 2.1 billion at the point at which the insurgency was at its peak and needed to be frontally attacked. 2.1 billion that were used in getting all that up till today Nigerian military is using, whether he calls them 18th century weaponry or whatever. But these are the same weapons procured by the last administration that they have used to technically defeat in their own words. And so today, that he is telling us you need the final stage of this, a war, or when you are building a house and you are the finishing stage. You already have told us you are finished with this war, you are finished with it, you have removed them from wherever. Because the next thing that is going to happen, we want to put Nigerians on notice, is when they will now come and say, yes, some of their abducted children are being released. Because this thing is a programmed deception.
Dr. Emmanuel, I'm just going to have to stop you there so we can take a short break. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in a moment.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. We're seated here with Dr. Agbo Emmanuel, the Deputy National Secretary of the Opposition People's Democratic Party. And, so I just want to ask you, you've come out very hard against this release of the funds.
Yep.
Now, we know that PDP governors were part of this decision. In fact, the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike made comments yesterday in which he did not necessarily dispute or malign the decision to release the money. So how do you address the duality that exists between the position of the PDP governors on this release, and with the exception of Governor Ayo Fayose, and your position as a party man?
Well, I'll quickly answer that and then make something. There is no duality of position at all. And I want you to appreciate the fact that in that council, we have 36 governors plus an FCT minister that sits in council, 37 out of which only but 11 are of the PDP. And that near 1-to-2 ratio clearly tells you that, of course, the PDP governors have only chosen, by virtue of the honor and integrity they have, to, once a decision is taken, even if you oppose it while the decision is going on, that it's only honorable that once you go out, you uphold that decision.
But this is the duality we're referring to, even if it's
no,
1-to-2.
No, right? The duality will amount to if they did not oppose in any way, which they did, and for which you see the spokesman, the leader of the PDP governors, outrightly stating the position of both all governors of the PDP extraction and the position of the party. If you see Fayose speaks, he speaks for the governors of PDP extraction.